You've probably heard of the isolated groups of rural people preserving the faith of their forefathers. Who are Old Believers? How are they different from the modern Orthodox Christians? Why are they so much focused on old rituals, customs, and beliefs? The movement originated in the 17th century, when a group of influential priests and the chunk of conservative population rejected the church reform enforced by the controversial Patriarch Nikon. Nikon authorized the translation of service books and hence reformed the whole liturgy of the church. Starting from such seemingly superficial things as the sign of a cross and the number of times one should say Hallelujah during liturgy, the rejection of the church reform in any shape or form became a major sign of rebellion. The deniers were labeled schismatics, heretics, were excommunicated, exiled, tortured, and eventually executed in large numbers. Throughout the history of the Imperial Russia, the Old Believers' faith was especially popular in certain regions, far from the capital or important political centers, and among certain populations, Cossacks, merchants, and peasants. Nowadays, Old Believers or Old Ritualists is an umbrella term. They all have the same roots in the church split of the 17th century and the rejection of anything related to the Nikonian church, but besides that, very little in common. Different movements, groups, and accords may not recognize each other as legitimate Christians or have any fellowship with each other. The main difference between different groups is whether they have clergy or not. As any other Eastern Orthodox community, Old Believers only recognize priests that are ordained by bishops with a direct and uninterrupted succession of ordination from the apostles. The so-called priestly communities believe that they have preserved this succession and can have clergy. The biggest church of this kind is the Russian Orthodox Old Rite Church with Metropolitan Kornily as her head. The church counts about 1 million members. The priestless groups, however, believe that during the church reform of Nikon, the apostolic succession was interrupted. Consequently, for some of the priestless groups, such essential sacraments as baptism and matrimony became a big problem. Some marginal groups became celibate, and many of them naturally died out. Most, however, recognized layman baptism and some sort of a non-consecrated matrimony. The church services are also led by laymen, though most experienced in theology. Due to a long history of persecutions, you can now find Old Believers communities all around the world. Mostly, of course, in the distant regions of Russia, ex-Soviet republics, and Eastern Europe, but also in Australia, South or North America, and Asia. Contrary to the stereotype, not all of them practice isolation and the rejection of the internet, electricity, and other technology. Some practice ritual cleansing of dishes and personal items. Many, however, live regular lives, both urban and rural, and are not so much different from other people apart from their religion. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I see you all next time.